Hi world, it's about 8 p.m. It's the 18th of February 2016. Apologies for not posting in the last few days. I've been involved in a bit of personal stuff, but here you go. You've got 3 videos at once now, so this will make up for it. This is my take on the astrological third house. Remembering, planets in signs show how planetary energies manifest through you. Planets in houses showing how those energies manifest through you in the eyes of the outside world. The third house relates to the third sign of Gemini. But whereas Gemini deals with analysis, functionality, detail, logic, rationality, mind and intellect, the third house shows the practical ways that these qualities manifest themselves in and through the outside world. The third house is known as the house of communication. It deals with the way that people communicate with other and others, whether that communication is through speech, on the mobile phone, through tablet, text, telephone, email, whether it is through travelling or socialising. It deals more, not so much with the larger scale of travelling, that's more the ninth house, but more of a localised way of communication, immediate neighbourhood. The third house is the house of neighbours and siblings. It particularly relates to brothers and sisters and or people who fulfil that role in one's life. The challenging side of the third house is that, similar to Gemini, the third house can be a bit of a gossip. It can get caught up in so many words that there's a sense of losing meaning. And you can speak till the cows come home if you like, but unless you can get meaning across, you will not be understood. In many ways, the challenging side of the third house is that it explains the difference between hearing and listening. Everyone hears, but how many people listening? People with a lot of third house energy can get so caught up in the trivia, the day-by-day minutiae, that they miss the bigger picture, and getting so caught up in the understanding that they lose the meaning. Understanding is logical. It deals with explaining words and understanding the import of them and putting them together in a rational and logical way. But meaning is much different. Meaning involves more of an understanding. If you want to get your meaning across, you don't just speak, you also use facial characteristic, analogy, metaphor, body language, getting people to understand what you mean instead of just basic understanding. The positive side of a third house is that it does give good verbal skills. It does give good explanatory skills, and it gives the ability to come across as someone who's erudite, knowledgeable, and hopefully someone who's got good listening skills, as well as being quite communicative. If you've got, for example, a lot of retrogrades in the third house, you're probably going to be quite shy, especially in the first half of life. And you're not going to be a brilliant communicator. And even when you do communicate in the second half of life, you will consider your words deeply before you speak them. If you've got a difficult Saturn or a difficult Neptune in the third house, there can be either mystery and or challenges with siblings. Whereas if you've got a positive Venus or Mars in the third house, or especially a well-aspected moon in the third house, then you're going to find that your brother and or sister are not only siblings, but they're also friends. The third house deals especially with people in one's immediate environment, whether it is work colleagues, social people, neighbours particularly, as well as siblings. But it's the way that you communicate, network, interact at the social level with other and others. It's the third house, so relates to the third sign. The first house governs infancy, the second house talks about values, so the third house is how you communicate. And if you've got a lot of planets in the third house, you're going to go to great lengths to explain your words, to be able to get your point across. If you don't have anything in the third house, then you'll be more content just to sometimes raise an eyebrow or throw a question mark at people, rather than speaking out loud or going to great lengths to express yourself. The The third house is basically the area of communication. If there's challenges there, it can point to shyness and sometimes over logicalizing and over analyzing. But if there's a lot of positive energy in the third house, then it comes across as someone who's erudite, sophisticated, elegant with their words, and generally good at all systems of communication, whether it is mental, verbal or social. Third house, brothers and sisters, neighbours, social interaction and communication. Catch you later, world. Bye.